north, Alpha west and south. Alpha maxes cover the north as well.
They are the lifeline of a fight and the driving force behind continental momentum. They are spawns.
Engineers, stay on the maxes and keep them alive.
Australia.
Don't worry about anything else.
Shit.
I've got nose.
Yeah.
Simply put, spawns keep a fight alive and can be either hard or soft spawns. Hard spawns are primary spawns and come in the form of base spawns or deployed sunderers. They are hard spawns because they can allow anyone from their respective factions to spawn in. Soft spawns are more easily destroyed and more restrictive. Usually they are squad-only spawns and come in the form of mobile sunderers, spawn beacons, galaxies, and Valkyries. Any squad should, ideally, always try and have at least one hard spawn and one soft spawn up at all times. So, a hard spawn can spawn anyone in, and a soft spawn can only spawn in a squad and are usually more easily destroyed. For example, a base defender should try and have the hard base spawn and a spawn beacon up at all times. Obviously they're going to have the hard base spawn up, but a spawn beacon up is a secondary route for them to use. And if there is an SCU that's going to be destroyed, they must be prepared to deploy a Sunderer as a new hard spawn to try and keep the fight alive before the SCU goes down. On the counter of that, for base attackers, it's good to have a deployed Sunderer hard spawn at all fights, usually for random players to deploy in and help with the fight, and a Galaxy squad spawn, for example. The deployed Sunderer should always be set up as it allows friendly players to spawn in and attack the base. Not only does it provide reinforcements, but it also provides a backup spawn option for your squad and serves as a distraction. Enemy players will always push towards the spawn option you lay out because they're always hunting kills. That leaves them vulnerable from behind, so if you got a Galaxy for example, you could just drop in behind them and kill those enemies. Speaking of which, a Galaxy soft spawn is arguably the most effective soft spawn. It has a large amount of health, squad spawn on by default, and it can serve as a very effective air-to-ground or air-to-air platform, especially with the new logistics changes that they've added to Galaxies. A Galaxy drop into a base is usually more effective than using a Sunderer, because of the precision you can get from a Galaxy drop. You can just drop anywhere instead of spawning it in a set location. Valkyries fill a similar role to Galaxies, but with far less firepower and health, as well as a 6-man capacity instead of 12. The advantage though is that they're cheaper resource-wise, and they also have the element of surprise, because if you think about your point defender, if you see a Galaxy coming in, you're going to assume it's going to drop something. If you see a Valkyrie coming in, you just see a Serb Pinata, and you don't actually assume, usually, that it's going to drop something in a normal fight, because most squads will never use them. And with regards to beacons, ideally they're a last resort because of the timer that they have on them, but you can keep a spawn beacon up at all times easily by just rotating squad lead around the squad and just putting down a beacon one after the other.
In that building, guys, we're just going to get killed by the first grenade that goes in.
I'm right on a rock to the right side of the building.
We're taking fire from the ground.
Alright, can I get a couple more people on my position right here by these stairs?
At any fight, you should scale the number of spawns accordingly. For example, if I had 2 squads at a base, I'd call for a minimum of 2 Sunderers. It's a good rule as a base attacker and means that you have more lanes and a backup spawn option that you can use. It will also keep the fight alive longer. So I've gone over what spawns are. Let's quickly go over the best ways to kill them, or more specifically when to kill them. So the most effective way to defend a contested base is to kill the spawns, but it isn't always the right move. So when deciding on the right move to do, I always consider what I call the bar rule. So as an NC player, I simply put it as, if the bar is blue, go for the spawn. If the bar isn't blue, then go for the point. The bar is the faction coloured time slider above the minimap in the base. So in any base, no matter where or what it is, after a certain point it doesn't matter whether you kill the attacker spawns or not, because it simply will not make a difference, because of the time it takes to run from the spawn to the point anyway. Usually this point is around 30 seconds to a minute left until the base is captured. And obviously it varies from base to base, but it's usually that kind of time frame there where you just drop everything, just go for the point and hope for the best. That's usually what happens. So for example then, in any move I make, it always begins with regrouping the squad. This is when I analyse the situation, so I'll look at populations, where the enemy is, friendly positions, other outfits in command chat, attack lanes, stuff like that. And then what I do, I check the timer. Just a quick glimpse to the bar is all I ever use. So if the bar is about 1 minute of blue left, which is about halfway on a 4-minute cap, I will move my forces to try and destroy all the enemy spawn options, because I've got the time to do that. But depending on the situation, I'll get creative with squad spawns of my own and use the likes of Valkyrie and Galaxy drops to destroy them, or I'll use mobile battle sunderers with the squad spawn option to simply just drive around or drop in and just destroy enemy spawn options from outside the base itself. If I'm looking at the timer and the bar is empty, then I just assume the worst case and just go for the point. But depending on how many squads I've got, I might send one squad to attack the spawn options. So if I've got the likes of 3 squads, I'll send 2 squads to get the point back, and then I'll send 1 squad to go semi-rogue and go destroy the spawn options in the base until I absolutely need them, which is usually when there's about a minute left on the cap.
We're going to regroup at the warp gate and push except substation.
The bar rule is a simple way of determining the right move and whether you have time to kill the spawn options. It's a good rule for calling in reinforcements as well, so I always try to call in reinforcements if I need them before the bar changes colour, because that gives you, usually that gives you about 2 minutes on the cap. That's more than enough time for either a platoon to grab galaxies and fly over and your squad deploy into those, or to just redeploy across. So in conclusion then, spawn denial is one way to fight against a larger enemy force. If you have the time when defending a base, you should always try to cut off the enemy spawn options if you can. It will usually make taking the capture points far easier by using normal methods such as just rushing in with grenades and max spam. Like, actually that's the easiest way to do it by far, so yeah. It also means that the fight is completely over when you have pushed off the enemy forces, so you'll have momentum and they'll have 0 momentum because they can't actually spawn in. It just makes it a little bit easier and a little bit quicker. Likewise though, if you're an attacker, you should always aim to have at least 1 hard and 1 soft spawn up at all times. Depending on the fight though, you should scale it accordingly, so a good method I follow is 1 sunderer per squad. And one thing to tell you guys is, if they can't spawn in, get a spawn. Always. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Feel free to like, share, subscribe and all that, and hopefully see you next week for another leadership video, so see you later for now.